Alright, in this video we are going to begin a design with positive and negative space, and it's called the Noten design, but we are going to be using 4 different colors, and we are going to have 3 of each of these colors. So before we begin, we're going to be putting these on the paper and making different shapes. And so let's talk about 2 different types of shapes. We are going to be using either organic or geometric shapes. Now, organic shapes are shapes that you would find in nature. And these are very free-form shapes. There's no corners or edges. We would not use any tools to make these. They would just be drawn basically freehand. Whereas geometric shapes are more man-made shapes, and you would possibly use a ruler or a compass, something to make them if you wanted them to be perfect. Geometric shapes are also going to have corners and straight edges. So you're going to be referring to these as organic and geometric when we make our actual design. So with our black paper, we will choose our first color to put on this, and we're going to have to come up with some sort of a geometric shape. So this is a square, and it is a 2x2 square. So I'm going to make a geometric shape, and I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm only going to go up a little ways though, because I don't want to touch the top or the left side or the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a very simple shape, which is going to be a rectangle. Now my rectangle has a little bit of a slant to it, and that's okay. So this is going to go over here in the top left corner. And we're actually putting what's called the negative space in the top left corner. Then we're going to take our shape that we cut out, okay, and we're going to flip it to make it become the positive space, where the background area, the negative space, is going to be black. So when we use the glue, I want you to use a glue stick. And this glue works, but you do need to put quite a bit on. So we're going to go over this a couple of times, just to make sure we get plenty on. And I'm going to lay it in that top corner, lining up the edges of my yellow paper with my black paper. I'm just going to hold it down for a little bit. Now, if you find that any of your edges or corners are sticking up, they're probably going to need more glue, or they need you to hold them down just a little more. Okay, so once that's down, I'm going to go ahead and lay my shape back into where I just cut it from. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm basically just going to flip it over and glue it down. So while I'm holding it down, I'll just go ahead and apply the glue. That way I know I'm getting it on the right side. And again, I know that I put plenty on. It should stay. Now I'm going to put the straight edge right where the straight edge of the previous paper is. So again, I now have negative space is yellow here with a black positive space, whereas the flip side, the reverse, is going to be a black negative space with a positive shape that is white, or excuse me, yellow. So for my second shape, I'm going to choose one of the other 3 colors, and I'm going to put it down, but this time I'm going to do an organic shape. So for this one, I did that free-form organic shape, but this time I'm going to switch it off kind of checkerboard-like. So I'm going to go ahead and put my green one here so that the negative space is colored. And again, I'm applying plenty of glue. And I'm just going to very carefully line it up so that the two corners actually touch. I'm going to get it as straight as possible, and I'll just hold it down. All right, once I get that down, I'm going to lay my shape back in just so I know I'm going in the right direction. Putting the glue on the right side anyway. And then I will pick this up and I'm going to flip it over and match up the bottom part where I cut from and the bottom part of my positive space over here. So you can see what's going on here. I've got just the reverse and it's flip-flopping. And then my next color, I'm going to go back to lining it up with the edge. So it would look something like this. Okay, and you can see I went geometric again. And then for my last one, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And don't worry if your edges don't line up exactly. It looks like my paper is either a little too big, the black paper, or maybe my little pieces were just a little smaller than they were planned. But on this last one, I'm going to add a little fun to it because I want to do an extra cutout part to this. So I'm going to go ahead and take this shape and I'm going to cut out another shape inside of it. And we never throw away our pieces on this project because we're probably going to need them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So we're going to do a little switch around here. Now just watch before you think you know what I'm doing. I might just surprise you. I'm going to go ahead and, well, first of all, I've got to put some glue down on my blue negative space. I'm going to go ahead and line this up inside where I just cut it from and put some glue down. And then I'm going to take that shape just like we've been doing so far, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it and lay it down. One nice thing about this glue is you can move it around for a little bit, and sometimes we need that little extra ability to do that. Okay, so this is the fun part here, is because now I have this, my additional shape, which that's not the right way. So let me change this around and see if this is, oh, there we go. That's how it fits in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this, and I'm going to lift it up, fit it in to where it would be right there, matching up bottoms, and voila. And I'll put that there. All right, so that is the first column, and this is what we're going to work on the first day, is fitting this column in, alternating colors and positive and negative space back and forth.